The day has come. Finally, after so much time, I will live a great adventure again. I hope I'm not rusty. It's been a long time since I was a champion. I need to get dressed quickly. I don't want to be late. I have quite a distance to walk.
If you're one of the first 10 people to click the link to my Patreon on the end screen of this video, you'll get a free 1-month subscription to my exclusive content in the slave tier. Wait until the end of the video to see if you're one of the lucky ones.
Surely no one will remember me as a champion anymore. I've changed a lot during this time. I remember the photos I took with the Charmander Professor Oak gave me, back when I was still a rookie trainer. I also remember how, little by little, my perception of myself began to change, especially about who I really was. I began accepting myself for who I truly was, for how I had felt about myself for such a long time. After becoming a champion and then passing my title to someone else, I stepped away from competition to complete my transition into my true self. I grew up, and it was incredible to pose with my new appearance alongside the offspring of my Charmander, who stayed with me for a long time until I released it so it could be happy. I understood that just like me, they couldn't be happy if someone else chose their destiny for them without being free to be who they wanted to be. But now I was about to embark on a new adventure, meeting new friends and fighting for a common cause. I would no longer capture my Pokémon to force them to fight, but instead I would seek for them to choose to accompany me, without the obligation to follow me if they didn't want to. I offered the first little friend I encountered to be my first Pokémon, but it showed no interest. So I continued on my way. Pallet Town is much bigger now that I'm an adult. My feats and Oak's research have made it an important tourist destination. But now I was leaving it again to start a new adventure, so I found myself walking toward Route 1, the path of the rookies. After a while of walking, I decided to run after an Abra before it could escape, but I had no luck with that Pokémon. Even though I got close to it several times, it teleported to a place I couldn't see. But luckily for me, not all was lost. A very curious Pokémon was sleeping in the grass despite all the noise I was making running along the route. The sleeping Pokémon was not just any Pokémon. It seemed as though fate itself had placed it in my path. Not only because it's rare to find a shaman on this route, if not impossible, but also because it has some traits that in some way represent me. It can change forms and has no gender. In addition to admiring its beauty when it woke up and opened its eyes to look at me, without thinking, my old Pokémon trainer instincts kicked in, and I quickly grabbed a Pokéball to catch it. But my reaction saddened it, and I couldn't bring myself to throw the Pokéball. It made me understand that it didn't like being captured to be used as a fighting animal, and even though it liked me, it wasn't pleased with my reaction. Even so, it showed interest in me. It seemed curious about something I was holding, literally. Its excitement was immense when I showed it what I was holding, a delicious, juicy berry I had picked before leaving Pallet Town. Its love for that type of berry outweighed its anger, making it clear that it would stay with me as long as it could eat all the berries it wanted, to which I gladly agreed. Although it was still a little upset, it seems to be a bit short-tempered, I showed it affection by hugging it. Little by little, its demeanor softened until we became very good friends. As it happens to anyone, it's very hard to stay angry when the other person just wants to pamper you and make you happy, and it seems like I succeeded. It reluctantly agreed to enter the Pokéball, but didn't stay there for long as it soon reached the first challenger it found, almost at the end of Route 1. And so began my new great adventure. Click the link that appears now. If you're one of the first 10 to enter, you'll get a free month of subscription to my slave tier. If you're not lucky this time, don't worry. I'll be giving away Patreon subscriptions like this every week. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so YouTube can notify you when one of my videos is premiering, giving you more chances to win your prize. See you next week.